Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone in here in the United States. Good afternoon to people in Asia. Good evening. Good night to people in Africa. Okay, I hope we all are doing well and enjoy the weekend. It's time to get some relaxation. It's time to get some rest. The whole week you have been toiling, right? So it's time for you to get some rest. But again, I know that that people still working over the weekend. But if you are opportune, you need to get some rest. Okay. So thank you all so much. And usually, please, a lot happened with technical difficulties to get connected, and also with some sort of getting the time to be right there on time. But we keep trying to get the right thing. Okay, so today we would like to talk about obesity. So we have been talking a lot about different diseases on this platform. Okay, so we spoke about high blood pressure, we spoke about diabetes, we spoke about stroke. Today we are moving to one of the major condition or diseases that is affecting the world, especially here in the United States. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's not there in Africa, it's there not there in Asia, but looking at our community, diabetes is something that is affecting our community. What is diabetes for short? What is diabetes? Okay, so generally diabetes is someone putting that abnormal weight. Okay, abnormal weight. Sometimes it's shown by the abnormal size of the person, but it's caused by abnormal weight. So diabetes is simply caused by someone eating too much, just too much, but with also little exercises. Okay, you eat so much, you consume so much with little exercise, and we're going to talk about that. Why is that the major cause? I have said the major cause of diabetes is when someone is eating just so much but with little exercise. Okay, we have spoken a lot, be it high blood pressure, be it uh, um, diabetes, be it stroke. One of the major things that we can do to avoid all this condition is exercise. As we mentioned, we need to create some time to exercise. A 30 minutes of exercise a day is very important. A 30 minutes of exercise a day is very important. I can speak from experience. I can speak from how I feel when I do that. When a day goes by when I don't do my exercise just for 30 minutes or even 20 minutes, if I'm constrained, 20 minutes, it's very important. And I feel that I have moved my body. I have galvanized my body cells to get to work. I have increased their test for energy consumption. Okay, so they want to consume the calories in me. So again, exercise is very important. So diabetes is the major cause of diabetes is when we consume a lot of food without exercising. I say without it. That's the major cause. And our food is because we consume in that food. If you are consuming a lot of food, of course, it's accompanied sometimes by most of the time by heavy amount of calories, and we're going to talk about what is that calories. Okay, it's accompanied by heavy amount of calories. When you consume so much food, it's consumed by heavy amount of calories, and the only way to get rid of these calories is when we exercise. And when we don't exercise, it therefore means that we are consuming too much but we are not exercising, and that is the major cause of diabetes around the world, even here in the United States. Diabetes is one condition that is very predominant in the Western world. Okay, and everyone that has lived in the Western world will know. And one of the reasons is because why? There is excessive consumption of sugary foods. Everything that you find out sometime in the shop or wherever is just excess amount of sugar. Excessive consumption of carbohydrate right there. There is meat available, excessive amount of meat. We know meat is a major form of protein, but usually when you're consuming large amount of those meat like that, it also has some calories in them. So again, that is due to the availability of all of these It's very easy for people to afford that in the United States. It's easy for people to afford that in the Western world because the money is there and whatever. And remember what I said. Most of the time, the luxury life, if you don't control the luxury life, you're gonna use your money to buy sickness for yourself. Okay? You're gonna use the money you work so hard for to destroy your own self. So that again is very important. So again, that is what we want to talk about when it comes to diabetes. Okay? So diabetes is simply when people go out, consume so much food without exercising. You are consuming a lot. How are you burning those calories that is coming from that food? It stays in you because you consume so much. Okay? Again, we need to know our body need everything. Our body need everything. But the quantities in which our body need those things will vary. Okay, so your body will always need everything, but the quantity in which your body need those things will always vary. Okay, you cannot just consume because your body is telling you to consume, or you feel like just drinking. You feel like you want to consume large amount of sodas. You want to consume high amount of energy rich food. Okay, you want to just go out there, eat that large quantity of steak. You want to consume large quantity of maybe in Cameroon we'll talk of achu or cocoa yam and all that. Okay, so again, that is very important. That again is very important. So obesity is simply when people are consuming large amount of food. You're consuming large amount of food that contains so much calories, but you are not exercising, and that is not good for your health. That is not good for your health. That is not healthy for you. Okay, so that is obesity. So just like as we have been talking on this page about high blood pressure, diabetes, and stroke, today we are talking on diabetes. Okay, and diabetes, we need to control that at all time. So again, haven't talked about the major cause of diabetes being consuming so much food with high calories without exercising. Now, what is these calories we are talking about? Okay, what is these calories we are talking about? So the energy value of every food that you go out there to buy, when you go to the supermarket, you pick up your food, you want to buy it. Okay, look on it, the label on it. It's always going to give you the amount of calories on your food. When you go out there, you pick that food, look at it, you will see the amount of calories on your food. Every food you consume, you want to check the amount of calories in that food, because when you know that, you're going to know that's the quantity that you can consume of that food. If a single food is having 2,000 calories and you are consuming that food in one sitting, it therefore means that something is wrong with you, because there is no way you're going to burn out that energy. And when you don't burn out that energy, and it becomes so bad when you don't even exercise. Okay, when you don't exercise, it therefore means that what? That calories are staying in you. Of course, that is obesity coming right there. That is obesity coming right there. You need to burn up those calories. Okay, you need to burn up those calories. So every food that we have out there, the energy that is found in our food is measured in terms of calories. So that is the calories we are talking about. So the average physical active man needs about 2,500 calories, okay, a day. So if you are actively, okay, you go out there, you are walking, you do everything, it has been shown that an active individual need at least 2,000 at most, or about 2,500 calories of food a day. And you're gonna think that, oh, this calories, this 2,500 calories is just too much. No. If you have ever consumed a little can of soda, look on your can of soda. You're gonna see how much calories just a can of soda consume. Okay, if you are that type, okay, you eat 4 pieces of yam, cocoa yam. Each of that piece of yam, it contains certain amount of calories. So when you're eating quantity of like 4 pieces of yam, only that sometimes can have about 1,000 calories for itself, or let's say 500. Okay, so I'm going to tell us how that amounts to everything. So in the morning, let's say you are that type that you go by your 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, you consume, maybe you have egg right there, large amount of egg, French toast, maybe fried potato right there. You get some juice right there for breakfast. You consume some yogurt. You need to see how people consume their breakfast. All that, when you put all that together, look at the calories found in all that, put that together. Just your breakfast alone in the morning, sometime for some people, they have already consumed 1,000 calories of energy food, rich food. Okay, they have already consumed just for their breakfast. Lunch, again, when they sit down to eat lunch, they get this bowl of maybe achu, bowl of cocoyam, bowl of this, or this Subway, the bread Subway right there, and they consume that large. Only that, the amount of calorie only for that is almost 1,000 again. Before you drink your juice, on top of that, right? Before you get the cookies, on top of that. And we need to know what happens here in the United States. We have been talking a lot about, and I keep on saying that this is something that is really affecting mostly the Western world, but it doesn't mean it's not in Africa or Asia. But this is due to the availability of all of these things. A regular American meal will have an appetizer, the main meal, and a dessert after you have eaten. Dessert could be ice cream right there. Dessert sometimes could be cookies. Appetizers, a tray of maybe a bowl of salad, a bowl of soup right there. That is it. Then before their main dish. After that, the main dish, maybe there is a glass of juice, there is a glass of milk right there. So an average American food, even though it's balanced, it's available, has high amount of calories as well. High amount of calories. And how can you help? Does it mean that you should not eat? No. As an American, it doesn't mean that you should not eat. No. But if you can eat all of those things in very minute amounts, very little amounts, right? It therefore means that you're gonna break down, even though you're eating a lot of things for breakfast, you're gonna be able to reduce the calories from 1,000 to say 500. Okay, because you are eating 5 things, but you are eating just a bit of everything. That is very important. You can also somehow eat certain quantities of food in certain large quantities. For example, more veggies, more fruits could be of help. When you come to your carbohydrate, reduce them a little bit. The amount of meat you consume, reduce them a little bit. Reduce your protein a little bit, but more veggies and more fruits. Okay. And your ice cream, don't get large bowls of ice cream. Ice creams are usually made up of sugar. But again, if you're that type that you like ice cream, there is sugar-free ice creams that are out there that could have low amount of calories. That should be what you should be going for. Again, that is it. So if you look at that setting, that is just for breakfast, lunch, and now dinner. You see that the 2,500 calories that we are talking about is something that you can reach in the twinkle of an eye. Okay, so when we talk of that 2,500, it doesn't mean it's too large. No. So you, just by consuming your food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have already consumed more than 3,000 calories. If you consume that in large quantities without regulating them. So what are we talking about? Reducing the quantities of food right here that we consume and exercising more. That is the way we can meet up with this obesity. That is the way we can help control this obesity. Okay, and it's very important to look at that in our children, and our children, especially the immigrant communities. When they come here and our children see the food in large amount of quantities right there that they don't see, okay, they just consume, and that is very bad for their health. And soon they're gonna tell you your son or your daughter is obese, and you are wondering why. No, they came from an environment where everything is controlled, everything, there is restriction and as how you get it. Unfortunately, some is controlled with the resources present right there, but unfortunately most of the time the natural phenomenon, due to the fact that these are not available in the country where I came from, as I earlier explained to you. If I get a food and I'm able to consume a slice of meat, a slice of meat, that is good for that day. It means that the parents did well for that day, right? But here in the United States, you're gonna see one child sits down and consume a quantity of chicken that is almost equivalent to one full chicken. That chicken can be consumed by one family in Africa for 2 days. But a child can sit down and consume that quantity. And sometimes we sit down and everything is okay about, it's not okay about that. Nothing is okay about that. And that is where that obesity is stepping in, and us as parents and us as adults, we are not putting our eyes on what our children eat. So this obesity that we're talking of is affecting adults and children in particular, especially children from immigrant families that are coming from Africa, that come here and just see this in excess. They go to school and they give them in excess right there. Okay, they go to parties, they have it in excess. They come at home, there's excess because the parents can afford for them. And we fail because of the busy schedule. We are always working. We fail to tell them that, you can only consume this. You can only consume half a cup of juice. And when we leave all of those things in the house, they just go ahead consuming them. And that is how that calories are building up. But they are not exercising. If we are busy with work, when do you even make up the time to get your children exercise? That is the problem. Okay, so we also want to control those things. Since we are not having that much time, why don't we do an active role by controlling what our children eat, the quantities that they eat? Sometimes, sometimes it may seem like, okay, you know what, it's available, I can afford it. Why can I not let my children? No, it's not like you're starving your children. Provide that for them. But if they can consume a large amount of chicken just for one day, they can also consume that same chicken for 5 days. Okay, in that way, you are able to spread the effects over time. Don't just let them have that like that. Again, so that is a major cause. So you can see how our 2,500 calories can be reached in a twinkle of an eye. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A regular American dinner or Western dinner will have the dessert, the main dish of the lunch, and after that the appetizer before the main dish and the dessert at the end. You get that for lunch and you get that again for dinner. And you need to go to places like IHOP, you need to go to places like McDonald's and see what the quantity of food people consume just for breakfast. Then that you will know what I'm talking about. You need to see amount of sugar that people consume, amount of juice that are rich with fructose corn syrup that people consume. That is something that we need to watch after. That is something that is affecting our communities. So again, obesity is something that we need to really put our eyes on. Our children, we need to be careful. Watch what our children eat. Watch the quantity of food our children eat. That again is very, very important. Okay. So now you have seen how we can easily achieve these calories. So if you are having just 2,500 calories of food, you consume breakfast, you consume lunch, and you consume dinner. Remember again, only within your food, only within the day. That's not the only thing you consume. Within, people will always have the snacking time within their meals. We come from that. You are a vulture. A vulture, like you don't know when it means like it's not time to eat. You just consume. Okay, so just as a vulture eats within its meals, humans are the same that way. They consume the breakfast, they consume the lunch, they consume the dinner, but within breakfast and lunch, they always have the snacking times. This there, and all of that. We don't even count. We have not even count that calories, right? So you can think about how much calories that person has consumed. So if you are consuming more than even 4,000 calories a day, which an average and active human being needs just 2,500, where is the remaining 1,500 going to? And that is why we say the major cause of obesity is when we consume large amount of this food, large amount of these calories, and we don't exercise. Right? We don't exercise because exercise now is the way that we will burn out these calories. There are other ways in which we burn out these calories in our body. For example, our body's cells are constantly dividing and multiplying, and they use this energy. And that is why we say an average human being needs 2,500. So that is the way that 2,500 is being consumed. Okay, we are thinking. Okay, we are active. Okay, you are doing one or two things. All that what you are doing is consuming some of that calories. But when the calories are in excess and we do all of this and it doesn't consume all that we are having, what happens? The calories keep building up. So let's say today you consume 4,000 and you consume 2,500. 2,500 is left in you. You didn't exercise. Tomorrow, 4,000. You consume 2,500. 1,500 is left, calories is left in your body. There. Now, how much calories do you have that is standing in your body? 3,000. The next day you consume without exercising. So you can see the trend as how that calories is accumulating in your body because you are not exercising. And when you are not exercising, that is where obesity is stepping in. Okay, so again, that is what we can talk about calorie. And usually when that is happening, most of the time people notice they gain fat, they gain body weight, and every other thing is unfolding when they don't know. Okay, so the major problem is that people are not just physically active. Again, I'll talk about the Western world because there is affordability of transport, there is subway, there are cars. People no longer exercise, they don't move. Okay, even to go to the store where you can move, no, people want to get into the car. Even to move around, to just go and see a friend just nearby, people want to get into a car. Even to move to a playground, people would drive a car to a playground that is just nearby the house, which they could walk, and just to go and park the car just to walk around the field. Why can't you walk from your home to that playground and walk back if it's near your house or beside your house? Those are some of the things that we can do to get rid of these excess calories. So the major cause is just when we consume so much calories without exercising. Now, what are the causes again? That's the major cause. Poor diet is one of it. Poor diet. When we talk of poor diet, that is a problem. I've explained what poor diet could do. Okay? Consuming large amount of protein. Consuming food that is not a balanced diet. Okay? Large amount of carbohydrate rich food. Less amount of fibers right there. Less amount of food. Drinking so much soda. Drinking so much monster drinks that have high amount of energies. Okay? All those we are consuming. It's not a balanced diet. We are consuming in very large amounts. And what is happening? That is not balanced. That is not balanced. And that is where the obesity is stepping in. Okay? So poor diet is one of the major causes. So when we talk of a rich diet now, what are we looking at? Get your balanced diet. Get your protein. Get your veggies. Get your fruits. Get your glass of milk. Get your juice a little bit. But get all those in moderated amount. When we talk of moderated amount, instead of getting a glass of juice, you can get a half a glass of juice. Because if you like your juice, you can spread a glass of juice a day. You can get half in the morning, half in the evening, and another half half for lunch and half in the evening for dinner. That way you are spreading the one glass of juice. But if you consume one in the morning, in the afternoon, during lunch, you consume one in the evening, that's now three instead of one and a half. So there are certain techniques that we can use to moderate this our calories. Again, that is very important. Okay, so poor diet is something that we need to control. So when we talk of poor diet, it means eating large amount of processed or fast food. That's something in the United States. You go to your McDonald's, you buy the big burger. You buy you get the container of mango smoothies or whatnot in the large quantity right there. The big burger right there. You getting the fries right there that have been deep fried in oil that is rich in so much fat. You are consuming large amount of that fast food. Fast food is very dangerous, especially here in the United States. That is one of the primary cause of obesity when we look at poor diet in the United States and everywhere around the world. Drinking too much alcohol is another cause, especially our beer, Heineken, 33 Expo, Castel, all those beer, they are very rich. They are very rich in calories. So we're consuming that in large amount of calories. Those beers, people sit down. There are people that can sit down and drink 20 bottles of Heineken in one sitting. And when you look at one bottle of Heineken, ask yourself, how much calories does it have? It's written on the bottle. If you sit for a day, you consume 20, and one is measuring 120 calories. Add all of that. That is already 2,500 just for your drinking.
What about you are eating? You are not even exercising. That is what is happening to your health. You are destroying your health. You are using your own finances. You are using your own self to destroy your health. That is where obesity will step in. Okay. Another one is eating out a lot. It's very common here in the United States. Okay, especially with people here. There's a lot of outdoor eating. We are not condoning outdoor eating here. There's a lot of outdoor eating. The outdoor eating, a lot is happening there, and we have talked about fast food. And again, a lot of outdoor eating, no less emphasis is placed on food quality. It's business sometimes. We are not saying that we know there's regulation, hygienic condition, why not? No. But at the end of the day, emphasis is placed on making profit. And if you are getting your family out there all the time to consume food out there, those food that is not healthy, outdoor eating, that is not healthy. That is poor diet. If you are that type that your family is living all the time consuming out, no emphasis, not a lot of emphasis lay out there as to the quality of those food. Okay, so you can't tell me that you are monitoring calories when your family is consuming, spending their time consuming food out there all the time. Monday, the families here that Monday to Sunday they will eat outside. Again, that is poor diet. Okay, because if you are eating out there and you want to eat the best, you need to spend. Therefore, means that you are eating junk. You are giving you a lot, but again, you know, a lot is happening. So again, that's what we are saying. That's what we are saying right there. Okay, so that is what could cause that obesity. Again, okay, another cause of obesity is eating large quantities of food. I've spoken about that. You have people that get monster drink. A lot of our children go out there consuming. We need to watch that. So that is something. Sorry, the internet connection is happening right there and I'm breaking. So we need to watch that again. Okay. So that is something we need to really look at. Okay. So drinking too many sugary juice, soda. Soda is one thing. We need to educate our children that soda is not for them. We can do fresh juice for them. We can get juice for them. Soda is not for our children. Again, we know that there's a test for that. Sometimes, occasionally, you can give a child a soda. But if you're that type that you just have the soda in your house and your child is consuming it a lot in front of you, even in the house, you can't tell the quantity that they consume when they go to school. You can't tell the amount of burger that they're gonna consume when they go to school. The amount of French fries, the amount of chicken that will consume when they're out when you're not there, because they are already used to consuming that in your house. So again, if we don't control those things, that is when the obesity is stepping in our children. Those are high calorie rich food, and consuming this calorie rich food without exercising is the primary and the major cause of obesity. That is something we need to look at. Okay, that's something we need to look at. So drinking too many sugars, we need to control that. Okay, comfort eating, comfort eating. Okay, okay. So comfort eating. So what is comfort eating? Sometimes, okay, comfort eating is also very dangerous.
Okay, thank you. So, we just our connection just came back. So we are rounding up. We are rounding up. Okay. So lack of physical activity. So all of this poor diet. I've explained all the various poor diet that we have out there, and all of this combined with lack of physical activities. You are not active at all. You are not exercising. You don't even go to the gym. You don't exercise. Everything is like you just sit in the car and you do that. And you are not exercising. You are not active. Even your thinking is not even consuming large amount of calories right there. You are not active. Again, consuming all of this poor diet combined with inactiveness, not exercising and don't doing that. That is when obesity is stepping in. I want to talk about one other cause of diabetes that we know, but it's rare. Okay, we know that there have been talks as to genetics. Okay, it happens. It happens. So it's not all about diets. It's not all about poor diet. It's not all about not exercise. Sometimes this genetic will also
step in. But I would say that again, this is very rare. This is very rare. Okay, this is very rare. For example, we have genetic other conditions that could cause genetic condition that could cause obesity, but it's very rare. So the major ones out there are caused by the fact that consuming large calories, but we don't exercise it. For example, we have Prader-Willi syndrome. The Prader-Willi syndrome. That is a genetic condition that may expose you to diabetes. Okay, but again, how many people suffer from that? How many people again suffer from this condition? It's rare. So the main cause is when we consume this large amount of food, calories, but we don't exercise, we don't burn them out. Okay, and another cause could be medical reasons. There could be medical reason. Sometimes we consume medication that we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Maybe because we are sick of one terminal illness or the other, we cannot deal with that without that medication. That medication that we are consuming due to that illness could influence our obesity. Okay, that could again be a problem. For example, okay, we know about we could talk about medication like cortisols right there. Okay, they could prone you to be diabetic right there. We know we can have also underactive thyroid gland. Okay, when there is some sort of condition, medical condition that you are going through, like an underactive thyroid gland or hypothyroidism right there, that syndrome right there, it could lead to some sort of obesity. Again, if you look at, these are medical conditions that could lead to obesity. These are genetic conditions that I've just named. The Prader-Willi syndrome is a genetic condition that exposes people to obesity. We have hypothyroidism that somehow exposes people to that obesity. But again, it's rare. These medical reasons and genetic reasons are rare. The main cause is when consuming high amount of calorie rich food without exercising. So for us to fight that, we need to exercise. We need to watch on what we consume in a day, how much calories we consume in a day, try to get rid of them, and through exercise. That is very important. We need to increase our activeness, how well we are active. We need to increase our activeness. That again is very important. Increase our activeness. That is again is very important. So that is something we would like to talk about. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for watching, and this video is going out there, and please share. This knowledge is supposed to reach so many people. Please share so that this can reach so many people. Thank you all so much for watching, and as you share, may you be blessed. Okay, a lot of people are ignorant out there. A lot of our children are consuming all of this junk out there because sometimes the parents are not aware, sometimes the parents are so busy, but we need to control that. Again, thank you all so much, and have a great weekend, and let's fight diabetes together. Let's fight high blood pressure together. Let's fight stroke together. And now we are fighting obesity together. Thank you all so much.